We're going to shatter that record, so you might as well hand us our trophy now. It's too far gone now. The king of the road is Sean Whitley, better known by his stage name Farmtruck from Street Outlaws. No prep king. Sean Whitley's name is still among the most prestigious in auto racing history. Regretfully, this automotive icon had a tragedy that could destroy his career and wipe out all of his years of accomplishments. What disaster struck the Street Outlaws Farmtruck? Prepare to learn. Farmtruck, who is it? Farmtruck Sean. In addition to being a well-known individual, Whitley is a significant figure in the racing world. According to many accounts, Sean is well-liked and respected in the automotive sector. Renowned auto racer, Sean works at a shop that customizes cars. He is renowned for his ability to customize cars with little money, thus, his time at the store was beneficial. After appearing on the reality TV program Street Outlaws, Sean became well-known. His television career also began with the show. How did Sean Whitley become so successful, and who was he? Many people have always asked these and other questions. You'll be shocked to learn that Sean came from a difficult upbringing. Although he didn't have wealth or luxury at birth, he did have one luxury: his parents' affection and encouragement. Sean, who was born on March 26, 1966, has a special love for automobiles. He cherished them. His mother's 1974 Dodge Dart was the vehicle he drove for the first time. His mother was happy to let him out of the automobile. Sean adored the Dodge Dart, which featured a slant 6 engine and was called Betsy. Even though it had a slant 6, he revealed, Old Betsy was just a good old car that never broke and was dependable. As soon as I got behind the wheel and out of sight of the house, I turned it into a race car. That was Sean Whitley, the young man who had no interest in anything but cars, and he later drove his father's 1973 Ford pickup at the Street Outlaws show. My mom taught me by grabbing my pant leg and pulling my leg off the accelerator because she thought I was going too fast. How hilarious. I was learning to drive a standard 3 on the tree 1973 Ford pickup, which would do a hell of a burnout in second gear, Sean remarked when he talked about his adventures behind the wheel of the Ford pickup in the years that followed. As soon as I turned the corner, that's what happened. It was a slant 6. No, not even a burnout would be possible. There were no well-documented records of Sean's education. His life revolved around cars and trucks. But there was a time in high school when he had to work and study. Needless to say, I was thrilled to get behind the wheel of the truck, and that's what made me a truck guy. In order to save money through his work-study program, he worked at a foundry that made manhole covers, fire hydrants, and other castings. Records showed that he would typically go to school until noon and then go to work until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He also worked as a janitor, cleaning and taking out the trash. He needed the money to help him realize his dreams. We have city streets around here, he said, adding that he once practiced driving around Oklahoma City streets. Hey, just because we're from Oklahoma doesn't mean we kick turds around all the time. Sean continued to pursue his dreams in spite of his difficulties. I began on residential streets and quickly got on the highway to see how fast it would go. A brief look into Sean's life reveals that he was raised approximately half a mile from the famous Route 66. Let's see what his experiences were like while he was there. We knew where to go to stretch out a car, and we went out in the middle of nowhere. It was a rural area between Bethany and Yuko, and there wasn't much going on. It was my first time driving a car 100 meters per hour on Route 66. You don't want to do that in traffic or at stoplights. We were aware of what to do even as children. Sean practiced with numerous automobiles and trucks, but when he was able to purchase his own vehicle, things took a different turn. He said that it was a wonderful experience for him, saying, "The first car I ever bought was a truck, and I went right into the truck world. It was a Ford F-250 camper special from 1970 with 3 over 4 tons. The same year as the farm truck," he continued. "It was just an old farm truck, a crappy truck, but it was everything to me. I loved it, and it was all I could afford. I was constantly fixing things that broke and trying to keep it on the road, so I couldn't afford to fix it up and do anything to it. After a very long time, he decided to get rid of the Ford since he couldn't afford a new block for it. It needed brakes, carburetor maintenance, and motor work, so it was a never-ending battle and constant financial outlay to keep it on the road. The block was cracked. Someone gave me money for it since I simply couldn't afford to fix it. I needed it at the time, so I sold it. Following a number of road trips, Sean joined Street Outlaws, which led to his big break in his career. During his time with the band, he developed a close bond with a man who eventually became his friend. And Sean has frequently shared various situations in which the two of them had a great time. Sean shared, "What made it fun was that and went together." One such instance was when he and AZN traveled from Oklahoma City to attend the recent mega race in Fontana, where they faced off against Aaron Kaufman, a fellow Channel star and celebrity driver. The race was a very intriguing one that was broadcast on the Discovery Channel in March. We constructed a vehicle. We formed a team with our pals. We had the opportunity to construct a 1976 Trans Am and race it. Sean revealed that he had met at a street race when he was driving his Farmtruck and AZ was racing his Chevy 2 Nova, and that their meeting was a blessing in disguise. We got to build a car in 3.5 weeks and we just had a lot of fun. We stopped talking about the race after it was over and we just started laughing. We both started making jokes and there was a certain energy between us. Despite the fact that we are 20 years apart in age, there was something about the race that we laughed at a lot. And we knew right away that we would be best friends. The two developed a strong friendship after that first encounter, but it took years before they made an appearance on Street Outlaws. Later, their collaboration on the show deepened their relationship and they became inseparable. Sean said he never thought they would become so well known and popular. He claimed that we never had a dream about Street Outlaws. One day, I received a call from him saying, "You are an internet sensation." I asked, "What's the internet sensation thing?" "It's on the computer," he said. "It has to do with YouTube. Everyone adores the farm vehicle. I suppose many scouts keep an eye out for videos and other interesting content on the internet. I guess someone wanted to do a show about street racing and they got in touch with us. And that's exactly what they got." There were also a lot of other cool cars from the 405 Oklahoma City here on the internet, like the Murder Nova, which had amazing footage. Sean once joked that they don't get noticed much ever since they appeared on one of Discovery's top shows, saying, "It hasn't happened yet." The two friends' partnership and chemistry remained strong even after they left the show, according to numerous media reports. Although we haven't received any recognition yet, we look forward to the day when we do. There were rumors that the show will be replayed in Season 10 after Season 9 concluded. Farmtruck later revealed that they had no idea what each season would be like while it was being filmed, saying, "We are lucky that the seasons that we have had in the past, the viewers have liked them. We never boast about any of our seasons." Sean's life began on Street Outlaws, where he was one of the first cast members to appear on the set from the very first episode. He and Ann would frequently go fishing together when they first started. "We are just going to give it everything that we got, and hopefully the fans will like it." As a nitrous junkie, Sean was accustomed to fast cars, especially the crazy ones. And he drove his iconic 1970 Chevy long bed truck before upgrading to the giant 632 big block Chevy motor. During the show, many people said that AZ hooked the racers while Sean drove. For Sean, street racing was just another way to have fun, and he thought anything with wheels could be a race car. AZ and Sean's connection was misinterpreted for a while. Many people thought they were dating because of their closeness. And the rumors grew stronger when Sean refused to give up any information about his personal life, including whether he was married or had children. Sean has accumulated significant wealth over the years, with reports estimating his net worth to be between $2 million and $3 million. Many people let their imaginations run wild when he was in the picture, but the rumors were later dispelled when it became evident to everyone that the two were simply close friends. There have been rumors that Sean has other sources of income, but he earned this through his lucrative career in street racing, car customization, and Street Outlaws acting. According to some sources, Sean was already a successful businessman in his hometown of Oklahoma before he began his TV career. In addition to his business, Sean is also said to own a street racer merchandise store where he sells a variety of car-related items from clothing to posters. He and AZ were rumored to have operated the Farmtruck and Shop, an automotive studio in Oklahoma City. Several online reviews also claim that their enterprise is a sizable one. Sean Whitley admitted that he had no social life behind the scenes and that he did not enjoy the public interference, which is ironic given that his entire life and career have revolved around cars. The store took off after he became famous on Street Outlaws. He says with more than a hint of pride, "And this is my release." He refers to his 1971 Firebird, and many of his fans claim to have seen the truck circling the track at Western Speedway Oval in Langford. "I don't drink. I don't do substances. I don't have much of a social life. It's just work, go home, and be with family." Sean talked about several of his regrets and challenges along the way in an interview. Want to know what he regrets? Keep watching. Sean was determined to win the 2016 season after placing 4th overall in the Bomber class in 2015. His feelings of inadequacy were one of his challenges, but he overcame them with the help of his love of sports and his family, which he later made public. Sean claims that his partner Amber Brown, his 12-year-old son Ryland, and his 19-year-old stepdaughter Autumn supported him through the difficult times in his life. Everyone who knew Sean was taken aback when he revealed details about his family because he had always enjoyed keeping his family matters private. Sean's hardships and regrets began when he was working on Street Outlaws, but they also began when he was a secondary school student at the former Belmont Secondary School. "I've been wrenching since I graduated," he said. "When I was in high school, I used to visit this place frequently and would remark, 'I hope to race someday,'" he added. "I made some pretty bad choices in my life with substance dependence, and one day I'm going to race. I will be 9 years clean and sober in August, but it kept me away from life for almost 13 years. Do you find this about Sean Whitley surprising? Don't be. Behind the scenes, Sean is a man who has struggled a lot and battled many inner demons. One of the promises I made to myself, to give myself motivation, was to hit this track hard and give it everything I had." It was his 4th season of racing when he apologized, having placed 6th in the class the 2 years before and 4th the following year. Sean also mentioned a car in one of his orals, saying, "The car was a lot of work. It took me about 7/8 of last season to get it where I wanted it to be." He explains, "I didn't get a chance to do anything to the car in the off-season, but on championship night last season, I won pretty much every race I entered, with the exception of the heat race." After a while, he changed the automobile by adding a 355 small block Chevy engine. "She is where she was last season, and I hope she stays together. I'm one of the only ones out here who runs a 4-speed standard. I find you can control the car better with a standard in it," says Whitley, who works as a mechanic at Vic West Automotive in Esquimalt by day. When discussing his substance addiction, Sean said his job and love of cars helped him get over it. The car ran smoothly after many practice sessions, and there were noticeable signs of improvement. He had battled and prevailed, despite his unhealthy habit being little known. "Cocaine was what knocked me down," he revealed. "I was unaware that I was addicted. I lost everything the first time I tried it. It was over the moment I tried it." Unfortunately for him, after drinking and smoking, he transitioned to a more difficult core substance as he was struggling to overcome heroin. He continued, "It didn't help that I had just lost my mom to leukemia." Sean said that sharing this crushed him. Seeing her decline was a cruel experience. He claims that none of this was known 20 years ago. "Bad decisions were made. But now I'm back," he asserts, beaming as he anticipates another racing season. He shared that his Firebird was back on its feet in the jack stands after he broke free from the unhealthy habit. Now, back to his comments about his car. "I thought I should make it a little brighter because new drivers are coming into the class, and from experience, it can get real ugly real fast. And if they can't see your car, there's a good chance you're going to get hit," he said regarding his car. The Firebird's condition had worsened because it had been left unkempt and untouched for a very long time, which affected its appearance. Sean also shared some of his struggles behind the wheel. In his words, racing isn't for the timid. Behind the scenes, he was terrified at moments, even while the spectators yelled and shouted. He said, "What the fans see in the stands doesn't do it any justice. This is car number 4 for me, and the first 3 didn't live. It's a lot worse in the car than watching from the stands. Now it's about coming out, turning laps, and relieving stress, following numerous fractured ribs and numerous bumps and bruises." In addition, Sean revealed that pursuing his aspirations denied him a typical upbringing. "It was something I needed to do for myself, and it's been extremely enjoyable." For example, he began operating his father's truck when he was just 12 years old. This was unusual for guys his age. Many of them were occupied with enjoying themselves and playing video games at the time. But he was occupied with advancing his career. It was also difficult for him to prove to the world that a car's appearance is not a significant factor. Sean thought that an automobile didn't need to be aesthetically pleasing, it just needed a strong engine to run. Although it came at a high price, he was able to accomplish this and prove to the world that he could turn anything with wheels into a fantastic race car. Unexpected catastrophe. Sean Whitley did not have it all going his way, unlike what many people think. He suffered a terrible event that stayed with him for a while. Accidents are unavoidable and accepted as commonplace when working on automobiles. But Sean had an accident that nearly ended his career. His life was almost altered by that. Sean Whitley sustained a right-hand injury one day that affected him both physically and mentally. Contrary to popular belief, the accident occurred when he was using a tire machine to repair his car, not while he was competing in a motor race. He was forced to use his left hand for support because the injuries to his right hand was so severe. He had been doing all his everyday tasks, including shaking hands, with his left hand for a very long time. According to some, he moved to his left hand to save additional strain or damage. Many were unaware, though, that Sean was psychologically impacted by the injuries and struggled to forget the tragedy. His followers were upset that he shook hands with his left hand, and they started to discuss it, which nearly ended his career. For a while, his admirers were perplexed by this, but they gradually came to terms with it. Ironically, he became more well-liked as a result of the handshake. He had a reputation for shaking hands only with his left hand. According to a medical evaluation of Sean's behavior, he experienced post-traumatic stress disorder following the accident, which had an impact on his mental health. He was still nursing the injuries even after he was psychologically and physically recovered, which caused him to suffer for a very long period. For a while, he was also impacted by the sight of machinery and the operation of equipment that could result in the same harm. It was because of this that his right hand felt rather stiff. Medical professionals claim that this was his method of repressing the agony. In addition to his hand damage, Sean experienced other health issues. He had Bell's palsy at one point. He suffered from palsy for a long time, which caused partial paralysis of his face. Sean had a difficult season, despite rumors that his hand was unaffected by the palsy. It might have been commonplace for others, but it seemed to him like the cosmos was against him. When Street Outlaws got into a major issue, his misery only became worse. Let's see how Street Outlaws turned out. The Street Outlaws. It was not for the right reason that Street Outlaws made headlines. This almost destroyed Sean Whitley and everyone else involved with the show. Reports state that before a horrific crash claimed the life of one of the cast members, Ryan Fellows, the television program failed to secure or attempt to obtain a Clark County film permission. According to a county representative, a Clark County film permit was necessary, but not requested. Due to the state OSHA's investigation, we will not be commenting at this time. How was this known to the county? Ryan's death, which occurred immediately following the collision, was a terrible and agonizing event for everyone. They made certain mistakes that led to a lot of chaos while they were filming Street Outlaws. A request for comment from the Discovery Channel was not answered once the entire problem began. Additionally, because their phone system does not allow for messages, their production business, Pilgrim Media, was unable to react. Sadly for Street Outlaws, Newstreet requested a copy of the film permission from Clark County while looking into the collision. They wanted to know what safety measures might have been mentioned but disregarded. The county learned and later verified to News 3 that no film permit had ever been requested as a result of their request. After this was discovered, things became heated. The production company that saved it disclosed that the Nevada Department of Transportation had granted them a permit. They claimed that this permit gave the business the right to occupy the area and block off the roadways where the filming was happening. After NDOT verified this, News 3 acted quickly. They immediately submitted a request for the documents' public records. A representative for NDOT responded on the phone, saying that their authorization necessitates obtaining all other licenses, including a film permit. Additionally, insurance coverage and details of the planned activities were necessary for the Clark County film permit application. A $45 processing fee was also required under the permission. Street Outlaws did not meet any of these criteria. Following all of these revelations, Ryan's family filed a lawsuit. Ryan was killed in a street race on a Nevada road due to egregious negligence, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court. Leave your opinions in the comments. Please like, and subscribe to this channel if you liked this video. Watch the other videos on your screen before leaving.